Hi guys, this is Shagni and I am up with the second video of our series on solving aptitude questions for TCS NQT. Today we would be tackling a few logical reasoning questions that I believe would help you in your preparation. So without wasting much time, let's dive right into the questions and make most of our time together. And this is our first question. I request you all to try to solve the questions by yourselves first. Take a timer of 1 minute and try to solve the questions first, then follow up to the solution part. Hope you all have tried to solve the questions. Let's see what the question says. Six friends P, Q, R, S, T, and U are in a group. Okay. The first statement says Q and R are shorter than U but heavier than P. Okay. So here two things are to be noted, shorter and heavier. So there are two parameters that we need to tackle. Okay, so Q and R are shorter than U. So Q and R are shorter than U but heavier than P. So Q and R are heavier than P. We'll be using this notation for the heavier for weight and this notation for height. Okay. Next is S is heavier than Q and taller than R. So S is heavier than Q and S is taller than R. Next is T is shorter than S but taller than U. So S T is shorter than S but taller than U. Okay. U is heavier than S. So U is heavier than S. Next is P is shorter than T but taller than U. T P is shorter than T but taller than U. Okay, nice. Next, the question says, before reading this question, I want to mention that there is a catch in the question. I guess most of you have not got the catch of the question. That is, there are two things. One is the comparison of height, and the second is the comparison of weights. But if you notice the question properly, there is no need of considering the comparison of weights because the question mainly focuses or completely focuses on heights in the group. So whatever we have to do is with the heights and not with the weights. So weights are of no use for us. We need to just tackle up with the heights. So the question says, who is the fourth from the top? Okay, fourth from the top when we arrange in descending order of heights in the group. Okay, got it. So here one of the arrangements are already present. So we can use this. This is S is taller than T and T is taller than U. Okay. Next is S is taller than R. Okay, got it. So R is somewhere here on the right of S. Okay. Next, Q and R are shorter than U. Okay, Q and R are shorter than U. Also, T is in between T and U. Okay, got it. So S, first we have S, then is T, next comes P, then we have U. Also, it has been said that Q and R are shorter than U. Thus, Q and R are somewhere to the right of U. Okay, done. So I guess we have covered all the persons 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes. there were 6 people and we have covered 6 of them. And now the question says fourth from the top. So first, then T is second, P is third, and U is fourth. So our correct answer for the question is U. That is option B is our correct answer. I hope you all got the logic for this question. Let's move on to question 2. First, try to solve the question first by yourself and then follow up the solution. So the question says there is a wrong term in the following letter series. Find the wrong term of the series. Okay, there is a wrong term. So if you notice the series is moving like this. The first letters of each word are in a series. The second letters of each word are in another series, and the third letter is also in another series by themselves. Okay, so let's see what the first letter series is. So if we can see that the first letters are in a decreasing order, are moving in a decreasing order, like X, Y, Z. So X, then Y is one place, then Z is two places. So the next terms are moving two places backwards. Then we have V, W, X. So this is also 2. Then T, U, V. This is also 2. R, S, T. That is also 2. And then P, Q, R. That is also 2. Next, for the second letters, we can see that this is also following this same pattern of moving two places backwards. That is M, N, O. So minus 2. K, L, M. This is also minus 2. H, I, J, K. But this is minus 3. Also G, H. This is minus 1. And E, F, G. That is minus 2. So clearly there is a problem with H. Rather than H, if it would have been I, then the series would have been correctly done. But this H is making a problem, and hence we can conclude that this word, that is THP, is the wrong word in the given series. Hence, our correct answer is THP, that is option A. Hope you all got the solution. Let's move on to question 3. Try to solve this question first, then we will be moving on to the solution. Hope you all have tried to solve this question first. Let's see what the question says. 5 friends, Amit, Riya, Kunal, Pooja, and Suresh. Okay, so before doing the solution, one thing that you people must keep in mind is that while solving this kind of questions that are dealing with names, don't go on writing the whole name. Rather, try to take one letter from each name. However you wish. I am taking the initials of each name, but uh, you can use anything of your choice, but try to reduce the name. And if possible, try to keep them only one letters. So we would be replacing the names like this: Pooja, P for Pooja, and S for Suresh. If you see there is some conflict with the first letter, then try to take the second letter also and do that accordingly. Participate in 5 activities. So we would be shortening up the 5 activities also. So we could see that chess and coding, there are two words that are starting with C. So we would be taking the first 2 letters, CH, and for coding, we would be taking CO. For poetry, we would be taking PO, and for painting, we can use PA. So we have to write less in the examination, and that would help us solve our questions faster. And for drama, we would be using D. Okay. Now it says Kunal participates in painting. So Kunal participates in painting. Good. Suresh does not participate in drama or poetry. So Suresh does not participate in drama or poetry. Okay. Pooja does not participate in poetry. Pooja does not participate in poetry. Then Ria participates in chess. Ria participates in chess. Okay. And another person, Amit, is left. Nothing is said about Amit. So if we can see that poetry is not a choice for both Suresh and Pooja. So if poetry is not a choice for both of them, so only place that poetry can come in is here. That is Amit would be doing poetry. So we are done with poetry. I strike it off. Now we have two activities remaining. That is drama and painting. Sorry, painting is already done. Drama and the other is coding. So we can see that we have two persons left and two activities left. So Suresh is not doing drama, so definitely drama would be done by Pooja. And as only one activity is now left, which is coding, so coding would be done by Suresh. Now the question says, who participates in drama? So drama is done by Pooja, hence we can mark it that Pooja draws drama, which is option C. So I hope you got the logic. Let's move on to question 4. Try to solve this question first, then we will be moving on to the solution. So here is the coding decoding part, and to solve these kinds of questions, we need to travel from either of the ends. For me, my choice is moving on from right end to the left end. That helps me solve the questions faster because on moving right to the left, we get an idea of what kind of gender is the last person from. So that helps me eliminate a few options, and thus I prefer moving on from the right end to the left end. I hope if you follow that, that would be helpful for you too. So let's see what the question says. These are a few things that would help us decode this entire statement. Which of the following statements may not be true? So here, not is a very important thing that most of us misses. So without seeing this, we would be seeing that option A is correct. It is correctly done. So in examination, we'd be marking only option A, which would be the wrong one. Rather, we should read the questions carefully and then mark our answer. So the first thing is P minus Q. I prefer reading it like this, P minus Q. So I would be taking this P minus Q and would be changing these two letters according to the question. Like if I am taking N plus O, I'd be taking this as N plus O means N is father of O. I'd be reading it like this. That helps me to solve the questions faster and correctly. I think you should also follow this method. So P minus Q is P is wife of Q. So P is wife, that is it is female gender, wife of Q, Q is the husband. Correct. Next is O by P. O by P means O is brother of P. Okay. O is brother of P. That is, it is male. Next is N plus O. N plus O means N is father of O. So N is father, that is male gender, and father of whom? O. And as O is the brother of P, so N is also father of P. Okay. Next is M cross N. M cross N means M is daughter of N. So M is daughter, thus M is of female gender and daughter of whom? N. So M is related to O and P as the sister. Okay, we are done with the statement. Now let's see what the option says. O is brother of P. Yeah, that's true. Here we can see O is brother of P. So this is true. Q is husband of P. Yes, from here we can see Q is husband of P. So that's also true. N is father of O. From here we can see that N is father of O. Thus, this option, this statement is also correct. M is son-in-law of N. No, that is not correct because M is daughter of N and not son-in-law, and hence the wrong option among the following is the option D, and hence this is our correct option, which is option B is the correct answer. Hope you all got the logic. Let's move on to the next question. So it is a statement conclusion question. For this kind of question, it is better to draw Venn diagrams because that helps us to uh, understand the statements properly and then point out the correct conclusion. So the statement says all engineers are logical. So ingenious, let's make it a circle. All engineers are logical. So engineers would come under a bigger circle of logical. Okay. I made the drawing like this because it says all engineers are logical and not the vice versa. That is, all logical persons are engineers, and hence we can't do that. That's why I have taken engineer circle as smaller and the logical circle as bigger. Okay. Next is some students are engineers. So we can do it like this. Okay, this is one circle and this is the other circle. Now this is engineer and this is logical. Again, it says some students are engineers. So student circle would be uh, intersecting with the engineer circle. Okay, so our drawing is done. Now the conclusion says some students are logical. Yeah, that is correct because some students who are engineers are definitely logical, and hence conclusion 1 is correct. Next it says all logical people are engineers. All logical people are engineers. No, this is incorrect because here you can see that all engineers are logical. This has been told, but the vice versa has not been told. Hence, we can't conclude that whether all logical people are engineers. Hence, our conclusion 2 is not correct. So conclusion 1 is the only correct conclusion, and hence option A is the correct answer. Right? Let's move on to question 6 now. Okay, so this is a sitting arrangement question again. So the question says there are 5 people, P, Q, R, S, and T, are sitting in a row facing north. Okay, so they are facing north. Let's say this is north, so their faces would be in this direction. Done. The following information is given. Only 3 people sit between R and T. So 5 people, let's first make 5 places to sit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Only 3 people sit between R and T. Okay. So R and T, there are 3 people. So this can be one arrangement and the other arrangement can be T and R. Because here it has not been told whether R is on the left or T is on the left. So we have to take two of the options here. Now Q sits to the immediate left of S. Okay. Q sits to the immediate left of S and P sits to the immediate left of T. So P sits to the immediate left of T. Now, if we see the two arrangement, we can see that if P sits to the immediate left of T, P can sit here in this arrangement and here for this arrangement. But this is not a possibility because we have 5 seats here, and if we place P on the left of T, so it is getting out of the arrangement of seats. Hence, we can't place P here. So this arrangement is completely wrong. Next, it has been said that Q sits left of S. So if you want to place Q on the left of S, there is only one option, which is placing S here and Q here. Now the question asks who is sitting in the middle. So S is sitting in the middle. From the arrangement, we can see that clearly, and hence option B is the correct option. Hope you all got the logic. Let's move on to question 7. So it is again a statement conclusion question. We have to make Venn diagrams first to get the question correct. So here it says all scientists are researchers, and also it has not been told anything about the vice versa, that is whether all researchers are scientists, and hence we would be making scientists as a smaller circle that would reside inside a bigger circle of researchers. So scientists, and outside we have researchers. So this is done. Next it says some researchers are professors. Okay, some researchers are professors. Done. Next is no professor is a student. Okay, so we have to make a separate circle for student, and no professor is a student. Okay, so all three statements are done. Let's see the conclusions. So conclusion 1 says some scientists may be professors. So from the statements we see that we have no relation between scientists and professors, but as here they have used may, thus we can say that there might be some relation between scientists and professors because they have some common part inside the researcher circle, and that can intersect between each other, and hence some scientists may be professors is the correct conclusion. The second conclusion says no researcher is a student. See, we have been given the relation between professor and student, and nothing has been told about the researcher and student. Thus, concluding it that no researcher is a student would not be correct, and hence this conclusion is a wrong conclusion. The third conclusion says some researchers are not students. Clearly, professors are not students from this statement. Again, professors and researchers have some common part between them, this common part. Thus, anything coming inside this portion would not be a student, and hence the conclusion 3 that some researchers are not students is a correct conclusion because this part would never be a student as professors, no professor is a student. Hence, conclusion 3 is a correct conclusion. Next, for conclusion 4, it says all professors are researchers. All professors are researchers. No, it is not correct because it has been clearly mentioned that some researchers are professors and not the vice versa that all professors are researchers. So concluding it as all professors are researchers would be wrong, and hence conclusion 4 is wrong. So we have only conclusion 1 and 3 correct. So our option C becomes the correct option. Hope you all got the logic of this question. If you have any doubt, then please rewind the video and see the solution part again. Let's move on to question 8 now. So it is a statement assumption question. So one thing that we need to keep in mind for this kind of question is that uh, anything that is written in the statement is full and final for us. So anything outside the statement, if we find anything outside the statement in the assumption portion, then we are not gonna take that. It may be 100% true. We know that this is definitely a true point, but as it is not given in statement, we would not be taking up in the assumption section also. Got it? So let's see what the question says. Happiness of a person does not depend on his wealth. So a few points that we need to mark here are important words that has been given are happiness. Happiness of a person does not depend on his wealth. So these are the two important points. So our assumption would be also revolving around these 2 points only. So assumption 1 says overall well-being is also important, which contributes to happiness. Although we have something written about happiness here, but this portion overall well-being is also important. Here, nothing about this portion has been set in the statement. So we can't assume that this is the correct assumption due to which this statement has been given. And thus, this assumption is wrong. So the assumption 2 says wealth alone does not provide happiness. We can see that it's something about wealth and something about happiness has been told here. Thus, we can read the statement again. Happiness of a person does not depend only on his wealth. From here, we can backtrack that some assumption like wealth alone does not provide happiness has been there in the mind of the author because of which this statement has been given. Thus, we can mark this assumption as the correct one. Next, let's see assumption 3. Assumption 3 says the main objectives of most of the person is just acquiring more wealth. It is clearly not the correct assumption because uh, nothing about acquiring more wealth and objective of most people is given in the statement, and thus this assumption is clearly a wrong assumption. Hence, only assumption 2 is correct. Thus, our option D is the correct option. Hope you all got the logic of this question. So that's it for today. Hope you all like the video. Please like the video if you enjoyed the series and share the video with your friends. Subscribe to the channel for more such content. Thank you. That's it for today. Tata. Bye bye.